Let's see, how does that start?
Once upon a time.
I know, but I'm trying to think of how it actually starts.
Once upon a time.
All right. Jesus. Once upon a time, there was a man who did not look like normal men. He was about 9 feet tall, and he was made up of all these fluffy pink pillows. His arms were pillows, and his legs were pillows, and his body was a pillow. His fingers were tiny little pillows. Even his head was a pillow. A big, round pillow.
A circular pillow.
It's the same thing.
But I prefer a circular pillow.
His head was a circular pillow. And on his head, he had 2 button eyes and a big, smiley mouth, which was always smiling, so you could always see his teeth, which were also pillows. Little white pillows.
Pillows. Do your mouth smiley like the PillowMan's is.
Well, the PillowMan had to look like this. He had to look soft and safe because of his job. Because his job was a very sad and a very difficult one.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Whenever a man or a lady was very, very sad because they'd have a dreadful and hard life, and they just wanted to end it all, they just wanted to take their own lives and take all the pain away, well, just as they were about to do it, by razor, or by bullet, or by gas,
Or by jumping off something big?
Yes, by whatever preferred method of suicide. Preferred's probably the wrong word. But anyways, just as the person was about to do it, the PillowMan would go to them. He'd sit with them, gently hold them and say, "Hold on a minute." And time would slow strangely. And as time slowed, the PillowMan would go back in time to when that man or that lady was just a little boy or a little girl, to when the life of horror they were to lead hadn't quite begun, and the PillowMan's job was very, very sad, because the PillowMan's job was to get that child to kill themselves, and so avoid the years of pain that would just end them up in the same place for them anyway, facing an oven, facing a shotgun, facing a lake. But I've never heard of a small child killing themselves, you might say. Well, the PillowMan would always suggest that they do it in a way that would look just like a tragic accident. He'd show them the bottle of pills that looked just like Sweeties. He'd show them the place on the river where the ice was too thin. He'd show them the parked cars that were really dangerous to dart out between. He'd show them the plastic bag with no breathing holes and exactly how to tighten it. Because mommies and daddies always find it easier to come to terms with a 5-year-old who's been lost in a tragic accident than they do with a 5-year-old who's seen how shitty life is and has taken action to avoid it. Now, not all the children would go along with the PillowMan. There was this one little girl, a happy little thing, who just wouldn't believe the PillowMan when he told her that her life could be awful, and her life would be. And she sent him away, and he went away crying, big, gloopy tears that made puddles this big. And the next night, there was another knock on her bedroom door, and she said, "Go away, PillowMan. I've told you I'm happy. I've always been happy, and I'll always be happy." But it wasn't the PillowMan. It was another man. And her mummy wasn't home, and this man would visit her every time her mummy wasn't home, and she soon became very, very sad. And as she sat in front of the oven when she was 21, she said to the PillowMan, "Why didn't you try to convince me?" And the PillowMan said, "I tried to convince you, but you were just too happy." And as she turned on the gas as high as it could go, she said, "But I've never been happy. I've never been happy."
Could you skip on to the end, please? This bit's a bit boring.
Well, that's a bit rude, Michael, actually.
Oh, sorry, Katurian, but could you slip on to the end, please?
Well, the end of the PillowMan. See, when the PillowMan was successful in his work, a little child would die horrifically. And when the PillowMan was unsuccessful, a little child would have a horrific life, grow into an adult who'd also have a horrific life, and then die horrifically. So the PillowMan, as big and as fluffy as he would just go around crying all day long. His house would be filled with puddles everywhere. So he decided to do just one final job, and that'd be it. So he went to this place beside this pretty stream that he'd remembered from a time before.
I like this bit.
And he brought a little can of petrol with him, and there was this old weeping willow tree there. And he went under it and sat and waited there for a while, and there were all these little toys under there, and
Say what the toys was.
there was a little car there, and a little toy dog, and a kaleidoscope.
There was a little toy dog. Did it yap?
Did it what?
Did it yap?
Yes. Anyways, there was a little caravan nearby, and the PillowMan heard the door open and little footsteps come out. And he heard a boy's voice say, "I'm just going out to play, Mom." And the mom said, "Well, don't be late for your tea, son." "I won't be, Mom." And the PillowMan heard little footsteps get closer, and the branches of the willow tree parted, and it wasn't a little boy at all. It was a little pillow boy. And the pillow boy said, "Hello." And the PillowMan said, "Hello," to the pillow boy. And they both played with the toys for a while.
With the car and the kaleidoscope and the little toy dog that yapped? But I bet mostly with the little toy dog, eh?
And the PillowMan told him all about his sad job and the dead kids and all that type of stuff. And the little pillow boy understood instantly, because he was such a happy little fella, and all he ever wanted to do was make people happy. So he poured the can of petrol all over himself. His big smiley mouth was still smiling, and the PillowMan, through gloopy tears, said, "Thank you." And the pillow boy said, "That's all right. Will you tell my mummy I won't be having my tea tonight?" And the PillowMan said, "Yes, I will." Lying. And the pillow boy struck a match, and the PillowMan sat there watching him burn. And as the PillowMan gently started to fade away, the last thing he saw was the pillow boy's happy, smiley mouth as it slowly melted away, stinking into nothingness. That was the last thing he saw. The last thing he heard was the screams of the 100,000 children he'd helped to commit suicide, coming back to life and going on to lead the cold, wretched lives that they were destined to them because he hadn't been around to prevent them, right up to the screams of their sad, self-inflicted deaths, which this time, of course, would be conducted entirely alone.